we have with us in the studio today Theresa Santoro with Germani Title Closings, and she is going to talk about the T-minus 10 days. What's going on? What is happening in T-minus 10 days? Theresa, this is going to affect us all. You said buyers, sellers, realtors, title and closing, the whole gamut.
Yep. In 10 days, you left out the most burdened piece of this puzzle, which would be the lenders. They have new closing processes, new timelines, new forms. In T-minus 10 days, in 10 days will be October 3rd. And October 3rd is when all of these guidelines and these new processes come to fruition. So
sounds not fun.
Well, there's an agency called the CFPB, which stands for the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Okay?
Sounds scary.
It is a little scary. It's a federal agency. They're a little bit rogue. They don't have a whole lot of checks.
They report only to the president.
Balances on them,
States.
Really?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They have nobody above them.
Wow.
So it is a little.
And they have an undisclosed budget, by the way.
Wow. That's scary.
That's very scary.
I do not have an undisclosed budget.
Neither,
I'll ask my boyfriend for one. But yeah, so the CFPB is a federal agency, and they are a little bit rogue, like I said, and because of that unlimited budget, they have the ability to fine lenders for certain compliance mistakes at a very high level. So there's a lot of tension right now going on with how this is going to play out. You know, the lenders that are going to have compliance procedures in place, whether they made staffing changes or software updates or whatever they're doing. This all came about for consumer protection, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And, you know, we all know during the time in history, there were a lot of bad loans made that people really didn't have the ability to repay. So now the focus is on informed consumers and making sure that they do have the ability to repay these loans. There's going to be a lot of look into their financials, and really the upfront disclosure process is where this is going to impact at least the lenders and the borrowers at this point in the transaction the most. As far as real estate agents and as far as closing attorneys, there are 3-day disclosure timelines for the new forms.
So basically, we can't close within 3. Everything has to be set 3 days before ahead of time. So I can't call you like I do now and say, Theresa, look, we just got the water bill in. You know, can we close in an hour?
Right.
I can't do that?
The days of the same day closing are absolutely over.
Oh, no.
The days of 3-day closing are really over because of the disclosure process.
Right. So things have to be finalized and disclosed to borrowers at least 3 days prior to the closing. So that means if you've ever purchased a property, you've seen a document or heard of a document called a HUD or a settlement statement, shows, you know, a buyer's column and a seller's column when everybody's paying for, you know, various items. That form is gone. It's going to look completely different, and you're going to have to review it 3 days prior to your closing to make sure that you've looked at it, you understand what it is, so that way when you come to the closing table, you don't have any surprises. There's no, you know, I thought I was paying for this, or now I'm actually paying for this thing that I didn't think I was paying for.
Yep.
No surprises. Everybody's on the same page, and
there's 3 separate forms, is my understanding. One for the seller, one for the buyer, and then the separate one that's going to the real estate agents that takes away a little bit of that privacy issues that we've had now. We're at a closing right now. An agent, an attorney, a loan officer, everybody can see what your proceeds are
If you're
from
the seller.
selling your home as a seller. And to be honest with you, that's really not the buyer's agent's business. It really has nothing to do with him. He doesn't need to know that Mr. Smith made $280,000 selling his house.
It's a solid point.
It's not. It has nothing to do with him. Nor does he need to know that Mr. Jones brought $72,000 to the closing. It's really none of his business.
Yeah.
right. And the focus actually is
agree.
more on the
That's a good point.
buyers than it is on the sellers. The CFPB doesn't really care about the sellers. They care about the buyers, the borrowers, and their privacy. The HUD, as it reads now, has a lot of private loan information, interest rate stuff that really has nothing to do with the seller. So they've made separate forms. It's all going to be different. The lender compliance procedures are so much more involved. So it's really important that we set expectations that, you know, lenders are going to be asking for a lot of things up front that they need by law. You know, nobody wants your loan to close more than us, promise. So it's important.
Maybe us.
Right, us as a team.
As a group, yeah.
Right.
I got you.
So, you know, it's important to work with lenders who are ready for these changes for the start date on October 3rd, which is 10 days from now. Have attorneys and agents who are aware and can help you get what you need. And for any realtors that are listening, our firm offers continuing education classes for credits on this topic and a lot of others. So if you do want any other information on those, you can give us a call anytime at 739-9700.
And I got to say, firsthand, my team uses Germani Title and Closings for almost all of our deals. They've been phenomenal. The turnaround time, the customer service, if I need to reach them on the weekends or during the weekdays at night, Teresa's not off getting drunk at a bar, or maybe she is, but she still answers the phone.
Oh my God.
But she still answers the phone. So, anyways, thank you, Theresa. Thank you. And thanks, Dan and Steve and everybody else. Hallie, everybody else down. You're welcome.